Hey everybody, this is Dylan with BaySportsBuzz. I hope you're all having a great rest of your night. Warriors won. Warriors freaking won. And it was one of the best three-point performances we've had in the last coming years. I know it's a preseason game. A lot of people will say, don't read into it too much, but I think there's a lot to be said about the type of rotations we saw tonight, the starting unit that came out, and what we can expect from our group coming into the season. This was such a better shooting performance than in Hawaii. I feel like the both teams really in Hawaii struggled on a non-NBA style court. And that's just the reality of it. I think they were kind of out of their element and probably uncomfortable shooting on the court. So we were at the Sacramento Kings tonight. Shot amazing. I mean, just the stats from three alone were ridiculous. 28 of 52. One three-pointer away from a regular season tied record. So it's very impressive what they accomplished tonight. 53% from the three-point line. I mean, come on. How can you even knock it? But I have to say, this starting lineup was a better ball-moving, refreshed lineup, I feel like. It looked a little bit better just overall. I'm not going to say that it's the starting lineups that's going to end up starting the season, but I could see it starting the season. The surprising thing, remember what I said in my previous videos, Kevon Looney ending up in the starting lineup. I don't know what it is. I think he came in with a different attitude this year, and it looks like the coaching staff might be considering it, because if you watch the game, the second unit is too hard to stop. Just like I predicted, like when we were talking about this in previous videos, I would talk about a lot of the opportunities that the second team would have and how they were probably better than any second team in the NBA. It showed tonight. I mean, you got Buddy Hield. I know it's his old nemesis team, right? They booed him as soon as he came on the floor when they're the ones trading him. So funny, right? But he drops 22 in 19 minutes. I think he was 6 for 7 on threes. Absolutely lockdown shooter. Yeah, DeAnthony Melton had 16. Jonathan Kuminga had 16. Pods had 8 and 8. Draymond had 10 points. Only played like a half. Lindy Waters had 3 threes. Trace Jackson Davis fought for a bunch of rebounds, as well as packed, I think, 2 people, and got to the line quite a bit, which is good to see. I think everyone tonight had a well-rounded game. Curry had 13 points, only played 16 minutes. That's just, he's not going to play a lot during the preseason. But to get Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, Brandon Podziemski, Steph Curry as your starting unit, it looked right. Not saying it will be it, but something that Looney's just done is like completely come in this new like body of himself. He's never been this skinny. He looks like proportionally great in the like chest area and stuff still, so he only lost the weight he like needed to lose, and that's just for better movement. And you can tell that the movement is better for him. It is. It's just there's something about it. And then he's only had 2 opportunities so far, but every time he's had a mid-range shot, he knocked it down. So that's a really big positive. Hasn't taken a 3 yet though, so we definitely got to look at that. Kuminga kind of picked up. He was 4 for 6 from 3. Could have had more points, but was sharing the ball. And I think the name of the game this year will be us being a great three-point shooting team, but ball movement like the Warriors used to do. Ball movement is the main focus. Defense. It's going to be ball movement, defense, and 3 points. 3-point shots, and that is going to matter with this team. This team could be a lot better than a lot of people are claiming it to be. They have us posted as the 8th seed on the data charts and everything, which like at the end of the year. However, I can see this being a top 5 team if we all play to our capabilities and maybe overperform in certain areas, which I think we're very capable of. When the half ended and we had the third quarter start, we had a lot of our young guys out there, I think Moses Moody had a great night. He didn't make as many points as the time before, but he played 20 minutes, solid 20 minutes. He got fouled on a 3-pointer and sunk it. I mean, it's amazing to me that he hasn't gotten more minutes, and I think the whole Warriors fan base, at least most of us, I've heard nothing but good things and praise for the guy and people wanting him to perform at a high level. And I think he well deserves that role coming into this next season. I think year 4 is enough for these guys. I think it's time to let them adapt and get into their roles. And what I love to see, I'm pretty sure we won't see this in the regular season, but I hope to see it. You're giving Kuminga and Moody around the same minutes and letting them thrive. And that's what you want, because Moses Moody is such an underrated defender. He had a couple blocks tonight where I was like, wow. And then defensive plays where you could tell the defender was just completely stuck. He couldn't get around him. And then the times he did get around him, he'd get the ball or he'd scrap it out or something. And it was just a great thing to see from a player that is fighting for a position. And I think a lot of people want him to be somebody great because everybody wants to root for the guy that has constantly never complained about things. He said one thing in 3 years out of his team, which he's unhappy with his playing time. But he said that after year 3, like he's not like some of these other NBA players where they get halfway through the season and expect to be playing this amount of minutes and this and that. He's always been the guy that locks in on his position and doesn't really complain and just shows it through constant play and constant gameplay. And that's like, how can you not respect that as a coach? I think Steve Kerr deservingly should give him a great amount of opportunity this year, and I just hope to see it. But Buddy Hield could definitely cover, if he plays like this, he could definitely cover most of what Klay Thompson has done as far as the 3-point line goes. But when you kind of look at like Buddy Hield and then DeAnthony Melton, the combination, these guys are snipers from 3. So it could be even more beneficial for us not having Klay on the team. I hate saying that. But it was the way that we were constructed last year that it didn't play in Klay's benefit or the team's benefit. It didn't. It wasn't like the past teams where you had 2 good veterans that could take the pressure off and knock down threes at the same time. We didn't have an Otto Porter or Bielitsa. We didn't have that last season. So there was a lot of things that kind of highlighted what we weren't like, and what we couldn't do last season. We were a great team, to be honest with you. Had we had more time, maybe things could have been different. But looking just 2 games into preseason, this team could be a whole lot better than last year's team and do a whole lot of things that a lot of people are not even considering. We're the Hunters this year. Let's go slash up the league and get what's rightfully ours. I think this season's a fail in my book if we don't at least get to second round of playoffs. I think there's an obvious opportunity to go get your number 5 if everything works out. But in this league, there's no guarantees. And do I think we can do it, though? I really do think we could. There's going to be a lot of people that obviously disagree with me, but I think it's a possibility. When you start to see the three pieces they got, yeah, they're like no highlighted superstar, but even Kyle Anderson does this second unit right. It's like a Draymond. It's like the best player that you can replace Draymond with at the price you got him, if that makes sense. A lot of trust with any organization he's gone with. May not do all the flashy plays just like Draymond, and plays great defense and then understands how to move the ball around. It's literally a perfect fit. They knew what they were doing. These three players only enhances and kind of takes pressure off of the younger guys for, if they have a bad game or something like that. But then if we have our younger part of our team take over and do a lot of things this season that we, hope and expect, it could be a great, great year. So don't discount the Warriors. This looks good. And first home game on Saturday at the Chase Center. Don't miss out. Go get your Steph Curry bobblehead. Have a fun time with the family while tickets are somewhat affordable. And yeah, I think I might be going. We'll see. If I don't, I'll let you guys know. But I will be doing a pregame and postgame. And sorry for the lack videos. I had a bunch of work, so I'll be making a 49ers video later tonight, and then we'll be focusing on that because we have some updates on that new kicker, etc. But hopefully you guys had a great night, and go Warriors. Peace.